Nice. Okay, hopefully this all works. Okay, so we are going to do a quick run through, well, probably maybe not a quick run through, but a run through all the same of the One Ring. We're going to use an adventure, not in the book, we're going to use an adventure from the first edition rules, one of the Bree adventures. So that'll be, and they're really good. They're excellent, actually. I read all three of them and thought, fuck, they're so good. So just to explain the mechanics at its most basic, right? And obviously we'll get into the more detailed sort of views of this as we play the game. But at its most basic, this is how it works, yeah? So whenever you have to do a skill roll, a combat roll, any kind of roll really, you've got a target number, which is determined usually by your statistic. You've got a feat dice, and you can have, and a feat dice is a D12, with an 11 being a fundamental failure and a 12 being a fundamental success. So a 12 is a Gandalf, and an 11 is an Eye of Sauron. And you've got success die equal to the skill that you're rolling. So if you've got 3 skill in something, your target number will, let's say you picked on a combat strength related skill, like, I don't know, what's a good example? What's an example of a strength related skill?
Hunting.
Hunting. Okay. All right. Hunting. So let's say you had hunting 3, you would have a target number equal to 20 minus, and we're using the 20, not the 18, 20 minus your strength. So if you had strength 6, your target number would be 14. You would roll a D12 and you would roll 3D6. To determine whether you're going to succeed or not. And a success, a basic success, is just getting more than the target number.
Is it more than or equal to?
Equal to. Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Sorry, it's equal to or more than. Now, you can also have favored and unfavored rolls, and that works kind of like D&D 5th edition. Well, not kind of. It actually looks exactly like D&D 5th edition. So if you've got a favored roll, you roll 2 of the feat die, so you roll 2d12 and you pick the best one, and you can have more than one favored, and you can have more than one ill-favored. And ill-favored is the opposite. You roll 2d12 and you pick the worst of the 2 results. So favored, you roll 2d12, you keep the best. Unfavored, you roll 2d12 and keep the worst. Then there's a bunch of modifiers to the number of success die. So there's things that can improve how many die you roll. So you can spend hope to get 1 dice. If it's a skill you've already chosen as one that you're sort of favored within. No, favored gives you an automatic D12, but if you choose something that's inspired, and that's usually set by your character's distinctive traits, although there are a couple of other ways to get inspired, you can gain 2d6 as opposed to 1d6. So it's a bit like prayer in Coriolis, where if you pray to the right icon, you get 2d6 when you do the prayer as opposed to 1d6. Also, supporting characters can spend 1 hope to help you as well. Now, mechanically, that sounds very similar, but of course the difference is you're now burning someone else's hope, not your own. So if you've got someone with a vast supply of hope and they help other people, that can actually be quite a powerful thing for them to do. You've got magical successes. Generally, they're only available to people with magical artifacts or bloody elves. So an elf can purchase a magical success, which literally means they don't have to roll. They just are assumed to succeed. Bastards.
Very elf
So that
spirit,
whole Legolas thing of, I need to go down these stairs. I'm going to use an orc shield to do
Exactly.
it whilst I'm shooting a bow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to run across the snow and the ice while you all slog through it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's the test for moving through the snow? What if I just ran on top of it? Magical success. Then you roll the dice, and basically, if you get more than one, if you get a Gandalf, which is like the Gandalf symbol, you've got an automatic success on a 12. If you roll a 6 on the D6s, you get additional successes, which you can use, and there's a list of how you can spend them, right? So you can basically cancel a failure, you can gain additional insights, you can move even more quietly than you were before, you can widen the influence of an effect, you can do a bunch of things, so you spend them that way. Just a couple of things, there's a couple of nasty, if you get a condition like miserable or weary or wounded, your ability and your conditions do have an effect on your skill rolls. So for instance, if you're weary, you don't count any 1s, 2s, or 3s on those D6s. They just don't count. They're counted as zeros. So it's quite deadly to be weary in a combat because actually your combat effectiveness falls off the side of a cliff, as an example. Okay, so that was pretty basic. That's the skill system. Combat, you choose an order of combat. Every combat starts with the capacity to shoot arrows or throw spears, unless there's a surprise. Then you choose your stances, and the stances are really critical for combat. So you've got forward, open, defensive, and rear. They don't necessarily represent where you are in the order of battle either. So for instance, defensive people actually usually go to the front in a combat because they're holding shields and blocking the opponents. So they may actually choose to be in front of everyone. So it doesn't represent where you are in the order, right? It just means you're taking a defensive stance as opposed to an offensive stance. Open stance means you can, flick between either and you don't suffer a disadvantage or an advantage. If you take rearward stance, you're the bow person at the back shooting arrows or throwing stones or spears or whatever it is you like. Then there's engagement, which is literally how many opponents you're individually fighting. So assignment of opponents to each other. Then there's actions, which basically falls down to, it's a little bit like standard year 0, fast action, slow action kind of framework. So there's a slow action, which is the big action. And then there's a fast action, which is the little action. They use slightly different words, but it's the same fundamental point. Now, you basically then just roll exactly as per the skill system, only you're rolling your combat skill. Generally, there's no such thing as a favored combat skill. So you can't take favored as a combat skill, but you can get favored for a roll if you do the right things. You just roll the dice. Just so you're aware, your target number is set by strength. So your TN is strength. And their difficulty for hitting you is your parry score. So if you've got a high parry score, then you're harder to hit. And that's why shields matter, right? Because they bump up your parry score. So that's how shields work. Armor does not make you harder to hit. It makes you harder to wound. So you can wear really heavy armor and get the shit kicked out of you in this game because endurance is what you lose and armor does nothing to protect you from endurance loss. So armor stops you from dying, not stops you from falling unconscious. If you get extra successes, you can buy a bunch of different effects. You can do a heavy blow, which raises the damage equal to your strength. You can fend them off, so you can basically improve your parry. You can do piercing, which increases the feat die roll. So basically, and also possibly triggers a piercing blow, and a piercing blow automatically is a wounding blow, right? So it causes a wound. And then you've got triaging of injuries. The difference between you and adversaries is, as a general statement, and it is a general statement, not a specific one, adversaries can only take 1 wound, you can take 2. So you can take 2 deadly hits and then you go down for good. Or you're dying.
Yeah.
And then there's actually just the last thing, which we'll quickly touch on, is there's the concept of councils. So councils are social interactions. Social interactions are like out of things from the Flood. Remember when you had the extended success model?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you've got to accumulate a number of successes, right? So the resistance is how many successes you need to achieve your outcome. Then you do an introduction, which gives you the amount of rolls that you will actually have to get that outcome. And then you have the interaction, which is where you're all rolling to try and impress upon who your council is with. And then, the outcome of the council is determined, right? So the really interesting thing there is the resistance sets how big an ask you're making. And then it's all about you guys making the necessary dice rolls to get it over the line. You do get a bonus if you're previously friendly with them, and you get a disadvantage if they don't know you from a bar, so for your dice rolling. All right, so that's the mechanics. Obviously, we'll play through that in more detail as we play through, but that gives us a sort of broad scope understanding of what it's like. I need to say this out loud. I really like the council mechanic. I think it's actually kind of brilliant, because actually the other thing to note is it's a pretty broad range of skills coming from a bunch of different areas. So you don't have a dependence on just one person being the face person.
Yeah.
Like the warrior dwarf who's got, you know, good ore skill can extend the number of roles by impressing upon them the importance of what you're doing. You know, the wits driven character can use their riddle skill to, you know, provide persuasive, you know, logical arguments or smart arguments about why things need to be done, right? So it's a little bit broader than just one person rolling persuade and everyone hopes that they get it right. So that's nice. And I like the way it spreads the load across the characters so people get a chance to do it. Okay, so now that we've done all of that, we're going to go to starting off. So you guys are now, so we've agreed that your patron's going to be Gilream, who is the mother of Aragorn, as in Aragorn, the second king of Westeros and leader of, you know, the party for the One Ring. Now, I'm just going to get her particular traits up because there's one thing that we need to just quickly do. So one thing that we haven't assigned for your characters is their fellowship pool. So fellowship pool is derived by a number of points equal to the number of members in the party. So your fellowship pool starts at 4 because there's 4 of you. I think
+1 from me.
that's right. +1. I think, yeah, you're the one that adds +1, right?
Yes, because I'm a person of Bree.
You're a person of Bree.
+1 fellowship.
So that's 5. And then patrons can add or reduce, not reduce. Patrons can add, and I don't think she adds. I think she's a nil. I'm just going to confirm that now. Gilream, daughter of Diral. Yeah, she adds no fellowship points. So just so you're aware, her 2 agendas are to fight the enemy and defend the weak. You resolve journey events within the old realm of Arnor as if they're borderlands, which is good, means it's less dangerous for you. And you can choose the meet patron undertaking during the fellowship phase to receive a rumor of things that are going on in the world. Okay, so she's your patron. She's kind of, there wasn't a picture of her in the book. I did find something like this, which I think will do. Oh no, make private. I wanted to, oh, that's a token. That's why it's not working. Show party. Okay, so this is her. So, you know, I thought that was quite good. That'll do. Okay, so she has sent you all missives. So you're all working for her for various reasons. Can we, we're going to go literally directly to the tavern scene because actually this module starts in a tavern. You'll be glad to know.
Meet in a tavern.
Meet in a tavern. The good news is though that it's not the Prancing Pony. You guys are at the Forsaken Inn. So the Forsaken Inn is this joint. It's kind of run down and it goes through phases of being like seen and not seen, if that makes sense. So she, you know, so it's sometimes run and it's sometimes not run. You'll notice that the roof is broken across the top here. Currently it's being used, so currently people are coming to it. However, that may not last. So basically what happens is someone moves in, tries to make it a going concern, and then they move on eventually and then it shuts down. It's about 20 miles outside of Bree on the East Road. So it's the last point of Bree sort of, and most Breelanders don't recognize it as part of Bree. and you've been summoned there by Lady Gilream. Basically, one of her other rangers, a guy called Mallor, is meant to meet you there and pass information on to you in relation to a servant of the Dark One who is building forces. So you've been asked to come here to meet with them. So you're inside the inn. It's, like I said before, it's a crappy joint. No one likes it. There's one guy running it who's called Jack. He's kind of surly and you know, wearing a dirty apron. The inn itself is barely habitable. There's a bunch of dwarves. There's about 4 dwarves in a cluster. There's a sort of wizened old guy who's attended to by 2 somewhat large humans, one of who looks like they might be from Bree. The other one is some foreigner of some description. There's a pair of individuals, a woman and a man, both also human, also not from around here, wearing quite reasonable clothing. And I think that's everyone. So just very quickly, do you want to just describe your characters, starting with Bonga?
Hello, nice to meet you. My name's Bonga Thimblefoot. She is a hobbit, so quite short, quite young as well, young adult hobbit. She's got very curly red hair, quite wild. She wears a leather shirt over the top of her white undershirt and some brown slacks. No shoes, because she's a respectable hobbit in some ways, if not others. She carries a spear and a bow on her back, so she's quite well armed for a hobbit. And she looks a little bit more rugged than your average little person.
So she's a traveler. She's been out in the wilderness.
She's been out in the world. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And is there any set to her? Any sense of her personality? Does she look driven?
She's got very wide eyes, and she's kind of watching everyone at the same time, kind of flicking around, keeping an eye on everything that's happening.
Okay. And now, what about you, Rovandol?
I'm Rovon Dole. I'm fairly young for an elf. I basically am from Linden. In fact, as a warden, I figured I probably am around the Tower Hills region, which is the eastern border marker with the White Towers. And the Palantir that's associated with those White Towers.
Yep.
So that's the region I actually hail from. As a personality, I'm fairly quiet yet driven. I tend to assess things and patient and have keen eyes to me. I wear the trappings of a warden, us frugal folk, bow and spear, and I just take it all in, but I think I think Bonga might have hit too many magic mushrooms. So
now,
but they are excitable folk.
They are excitable folk. And are you? What would be a sort of defining sort of set to you? You know, what's your? How do you act? I guess. Are you reserved? Are you forward? Are you? You know.
I am reserved. I am reserved in my nature.
And you're heavily armed, right, as well? You're not like, are you wearing armor and?
Yeah. So I'm wearing the leather corselet, which covers the shoulders down to the knees, and pack a spear and a bow and probably a dagger or something. But yes, I actually look like I am actually a scout soldier. That sort of feel.
Cool. Okay, and Loreth.
It's actually Eorith.
Eorith.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just that font. It's not very clear that it's an I. So I am a ranger of the Dunedain. I am very tall for a woman, even very tall amongst the Dunedain. I'm 6'4". I'm very quick on my feet. I've spent a lot of time alone in the wilderness hunting orcs, who I despise. So I'm not much of a talker, but I'm quick to take action. Yes, and I like my pipe.
And you like your pipe.
I've always got my pipe. Yeah.
And finally, Mulgren.
Yep. I'm a Mulgren. I'm a pretty average height for a dwarf, about like 4'8"-ish. Got a very finely braided beard with some very nice gold little pieces of beads and jewelry in it. A very well kept mane of hair swept back. There's clearly like a bit of like weathering on my face. I'm a bit of an older dwarf. I've been traveling for a while, but I wear very, very nice clothes. That look like they're for a noble make. And I also am not wearing it currently, but I have a helmet with me and a set of mail armor. And I carry a very large sword that's about like as tall as me, almost, and a spear with me at all times.
But right now, you're not armored to the hilt, are you?
No, I've got it kind of like in a pile next to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all will assume you don't really know each other, but you all know but you all know who each other are. And let's face it, you stand out. All of you stand out in this crowd. All right.
You walk into a bar.
into a bar
There's a
and
joke about it.
you go, I'm looking for a dwarf, a hobbit, an elf, and a Dunedain. Wherever will I find them? So you're meant to meet Mallor tonight, and he's meant to pass you information. You've come into the bar sort of desultorily. Some of you may have even mistaken Eorith as Mallor at first, because I mean, a ranger is a ranger is a ranger, and gender, and you're a very tall woman, as you said. So there's probably a moment of confusion from some of the others when they've come in, because you look like a ranger.
That's a big folk ranger right there.
That's a big folk ranger. That's true. Actually, you probably haven't been told that Mallor is a man.
Looking
so
for a ranger.
You have probably, so each of you probably been told, the letter that you've received from the Lady Gilream, probably, sorry, I'm just saying good night. Bye. Go for the walk. The message you've received from the Lady Gilream probably described, a wealthy dwarf, a hobbit, but one who travels, and elven, warrior, and two rangers that you would be meeting. And so you've sort of rocked up, Eorith, expecting to meet Mallor here. You're probably the only person who even knows who Mallor is, really. And of course, there's no sign of Mallor. So what do you want to do, guys? You're in the inn. You've met each other. At least very quickly. There's the barkeep who's, doing the whole cleaning the way that cleaning the way that cleaning should be done. It adds flavour.
Humidity as well. Yes.
And when you guys all come into the room, just to be clear, everyone looks at you. Right. So one really, I think, and I sort of put a big Discord post together on this, which you may or may not have bothered to read, but one really important thing is this is a world where everything is closing in, right? This is not a world of, where communities are expanding and growing and all of that. This is a world where all the communities are shrinking back from everything around them, right? So all the great kingdoms in this whole region have fallen. The nearest communities to Bree of any size are Buckland, which is the closest. It's 100 miles away. Rivendell, which is over 300 miles away. And there's a town to the south whose name I've forgotten, but it starts with TH, and it's over 200 miles away. This is a medieval period. That means that the nearest viable community, I'm not talking about, like, there's not even hamlets, is weeks in travel. It's like you're on an island surrounded by the Atlantic. It's that sort of level of distance between places. So people don't trust people, which is obviously where you guys come in. So yes, so what do you want to do, guys?
Just to let you know, if you do decide to try any of the food or drink here, I've got some herbs to settle your stomach after.
Seems a little bit. I mean, it's just a bar. I'm gonna order a drink.
Hey, you, yeah, okay.
I'm drinking my own stuff.
Do you want a small beer?
A pint, please.
I've
heard that one before.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. That'll be a couple of coppers, thanks very much.
Hand them over.
Yeah, excellent. Strange fellows you've got with you there.
Yeah, a bunch of out-of-towners. Will be interesting.
Yeah, out-of-towners. You from Bree?
I am, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Don't like Bree folk very much.
Well, at least he's honest.
They're all right,
Yeah.
Pay good money.
It's had some trouble in Bree, that's all. It's not a very nice place. Not very welcoming of independent merchants.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can't fault you for that.
Yeah, well, look here, have your beer then. Are any of your friends going to order, or are they just going to sit at the frickin' table? Like, this isn't
Oh, you've got an Australian bartender.
Yeah. Most appropriate analog. I've been in a country bar.
He doesn't have a mead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
figuring
sure the
beer is
dwarf
the
will
only
drink
option
at
in this
least.
place. Is that right?
Oh no, mate, we've got Scrumpy.
A scrumpy. Ah, that would be an apple cidery thing. Yes, that sounds delightful.
Yeah, that's what it is. Apple cider thingy.
Right.
You sure you've got the constitution for it?
I'm sure I have the constitution for it.
Yeah, good on you. All right, well, there you go then. He goes and gets a sort of different jug, pours into a somewhat kind of rubbishy wooden goblet, gives it to you. That'll be a couple of coppers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good on you.
Good
Well,
barkeep.
I'm not good, mate. I'm bloody awesome. Okay.
Definitely is straight.
All right.
All right. Good.
Do you have anything of the finer variety?
I think I've got it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you looking for some spirituous liquor?
Are you, yeah, you dwarves, always judging.
He's a big dandy.
I've got some, I've got a better grade of beer, I guess, if you want that.
I'll take it. Sounds delicious.
Okay. There it is. He goes to the same barrel that he used to give Bonga the beer, pours it in, and then wipes a bit of the foam off the top with his cloth. The cloth being pretty, very. There you go. Yeah, that'll be
Slice of lemon.
Puts an olive in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and what about the goddamn Ranger? Bloody thieves. That's all they are, you know. What you doing hanging with one of them? You look like the right sort of person.
Yeah.
He's talking to you,
Well,
Mulgrim, by the way. He's
yeah.
looking at you because you're at the bar.
Oh.
Point.
They're all right, you know.
What? No, they're not. Bloody thieves. Parasites, mate.
They're
Parasites.
stolen from me.
Not that you know. They're Quixie. They got tricksy fingers.
Oh, I keep my eye tight on my coin. Don't you worry.
Do you? Yeah, very good. Where do you keep your coin?
Well, that wouldn't be very tight if I told you, would it?
Yeah, can't blame a guy for trying. All right, yeah, whatever. Okay, good. Yeah, well, look, I'd just be careful about your ranger buddy. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
another ranger who hangs around here a bit. He's a bit of a parasite. Don't trust him either.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you seen him lately? Is the next question. When
Have
was he
I
last
seen-
here?
Have I seen what?
The other ranger.
The other ranger?
Does he
You
come
mean-
around here often?
Does he come around here often? Yeah, he's always here. He's they're always hanging about. Yeah, he's got some freaking Elvie name, but I just call him Tarry Mac.
Terry Mac.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Harry Mac.
Yeah. Ugly bastard. Just comes in stinking and smelling of the road, bringing down the quality of my fine establishment.
Yes, I can see
Yeah.
you've got high standards here.
Yeah. Guy could curdle
Yes.
beer with his face. It's so disgusting. It's an ugly bastard. Yeah, so Tarry Mac was here earlier. Don't know where he's gone now.
Right.
Well, that's all right. We
Now-
can wait.
Did you guys actually want to question the barkeep? I'm dead serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should. He obviously hates me.
Yeah. So can I get the first skill roll of the session? Who you can either make it or persuade, and it's up to you who makes it.
or persuade. What's
Um,
persuade
Persuade is in wits.
in wits.
I'm pretty good at wits and persuade.
Well,
I'm also-
pretty good at
I'm
wits.
actually-
Pretty good at that. Actually,
I'm actually equally good at awe and strength. They are the
I
same to
have
me.
3 in persuade and I have 6 wits reading. So
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
I don't normally talk to them.
So you've got
I'm very talkative.
so just to remind us, that means you've got a TN of 14
Yep, and I get
And-
to roll 3d6.
plus is it a favored skill?
It's
Or-
not my favored. I've got riddle and courtesy are favored for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so do you want to click on your character sheet and
I would love to. Let's click. on the
hopefully I've scripted it
persuade.
correctly. Yes.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's roll. Oh, nice. Look
Ooh.
at that.
Okay. So you
20.
don't have any additional successes. But you do have a success.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, he was here earlier. He stepped out. Yeah, when these other guys turned up, he looks around the room because it's full of people, right? Like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually full of
Yeah.
people. Yeah, when this other caravan turned up, he was in the corner listening, like the kind of, sneak thief that he is, just listening with his ears, always listening for people's secrets, then holding them over their heads. Anyway, yeah, I heard him step out. He came back a little while later, and then he's gone again. Haven't seen him come back though. Don't know where he went.
Mm.
Yeah, might want to go out in the dark and find him, I guess. You
So
know.
has the caravan moved on?
No, the caravan. No, this is the caravan. So remember, there were the
Okay.
4 dwarves, the 2
Oh,
humans,
okay.
the 3
Mm.
humans,
Right.
sort of clustered into little groups
Right.
around the room. So that's the caravan he's referring to.
Mm.
Yeah, one of those shifty dwarf types came up to me.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, look, I'm an understanding guy, right? Like, I don't judge people by what they look like. But I tell you what, you can't trust a dwarf, man.
Oh no.
No. They're all in it for themselves. Anyway, one of those
But
one
you're
of-
different, Addy. Mulgren.
I feel like I should
obvious.
just.
Well, obviously you're different. I mean, look at you. You've done well, mate. You're a well-made dwarf. You've done well. Not like
I
these,
do take care of myself.
not like these tinker dwarves, tinker dwarves, right? Like, they're not real dwarves, are they? I mean, they're moving around, just fixing people's pots, making ends meet. I mean, it's a bit below them, isn't it? I mean, you'd think, dwarves would be better than that. Where's the great dwarven warriors, axes and swords and glittery mail, that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't see a lot of that around here. Anyway, yeah, but you look like the right kind of dwarf with your very nice gold chin things there. It's good. Anyway, yeah. So
Has that come with a clasp? Is it like released with a clasp at the back or something?
Yeah. Don't know. Anyway, one of those shifty dwarves over there. Can't tell you which one. They all look the same to me. Anyway, yeah, he came up to me and he's wanted to know where Terry Mac's gone. I just told him, the truth, that he'd stepped out. Last thing I saw was the dwarf went out. He's come back though, so yeah, who knows? Anyway, if you're looking for Terry Mac, he's probably out there creeping around in the dark like the sneak thief he is. Yeah.
Thank you very kindly for your help.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, always willing to help. I'd really appreciate it if people showed the same generosity that I show when I share information, of course.
Oh, of course. I'll hand him another copper piece.
Yeah, that's
That's sweet of you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Is there anybody actually, like any groups actually watching the barkeep?
They're all watching you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're like big weirdos. We're very
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So if you mean, are people staring in your direction while you talk to the innkeep? The answer is yes.
Well, yeah, no, good point. I guess if he has his local thuggery, I just want to identify who they are.
Mm.
Yeah. Well,
Because-
no. So there's no. It's basically just him.
Okay.
He's literally the only person running the inn.
What a life.
What a life. So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to head out? Do you want to wait out the night? Do you want to talk to the people? What's the?
I'm gonna go outside and see if I can find some signs or tracks of which direction he might have gone in.
Okay. Can I get?
I'll come with you on that one.
I'll just pop up your character, Jess. Sorry. I think it's probably going to be
Hunting.
yeah, it could be hunting.
I was thinking. I've got explore.
Have you
Yeah.
got?
Not right either.
You don't really have. Oh, you've got awareness.
Awareness.
Awareness is more being, not being surprised though. It sounds actually, unfortunately, it sounds a bit like like scan really, or explore.
I'm really good at scan.
I've got explore.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we, for the sake of this conversation, and possibly misusing the skill, but who cares? Why don't we make it an explore skill? So you're going out looking for him. Now the target number your normal target number is 16. Just to be clear, it's dark.
Yeah.
So you're going to take an additional 2 to the target number. So the actual target number is 18 for this roll.
I might actually be better at explore than the ranger, weirdly. Because I have 6 wits, 2 in explore, and it's my favorite skill.
Oh.
It's my favorite skill as well.
Oh.
Wow.
We got a lot of explore going
Look
on.
at y'all.
Yeah, it is Gordon.
Why
Yeah.
do I have a D?
Trying to show
I,
off the
I
range.
shouldn't have a D12 on that roll though, should
Yeah,
I?
you should. Yeah.
Yeah.
You always get the D12.
You always get the D12. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a go at it anyway.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
roll.
We're rolling.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's actually a basic success. You haven't rolled
nice.
any
Yeah.
6s, nor have you rolled any
Well,
10s or any 11, no 11s or 12s. Oops, sorry. I don't know what I've done now.
But yeah. But I got the 18, so that's cool.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so you've got a basic success. All right. So you
Oh,
go
no.
out into the night. It's challenging, which we did. Successful roll. Yep. Okay. Right. Cool. Okay. So as you move around the back of the building, you stumble across a broken knife, like a war knife, not like a little, paring knife, but like a knife for stabbing orcs with. So it's a good, sort of this big kind of thing. And it's broken. Like the knife blade itself is snapped.
Shoddy craftsmanship on that.
So the knife itself is broken. It's marked with the Elvish rune for M. So you can make what you think of that. The other thing to be aware of is that the blade itself is very cold to touch. Like unnaturally cold.
Yeah.
Like you can feel a rim of ice on the blade.
Not a normal blade.
No. Well, so who's come with me? So Rovan, Dole, Haz, and Mulgrim.
Can I make a lore roll about the blade to identify it?
What sort of lore are you deploying? What do you want to know?
What I want to know, so this is an elven design blade is what I've got, and it's cold. Is it, I don't know, is it enchanted? Is it
Is it the chill of death or undeath?
Sorry, what was that?
Chocolate.
Is it the chill of death or undeath? I'll answer. It was.
Okay.
It was. Is it the chill of death or undeath?
Right.
So you can make a lore roll to try and understand what's going on with the ice, or you can make a lore roll to try and get a better handle on the blade. Which of the two do you want?
Understanding the ice with a bit.
By the way, what distinctive feature do you have?
Keen-eyed and patient.
But didn't you get one for being a warden? You did.
yeah.
What was that?
Because it should be in your distinctive features. You get a additional distinctive feature, which is your sort of special skill that goes with your calling.
Just finding it now. Can't remember. Callings. Warden. Oh yes, Shadow Law. You have a recognize. You recognize that there's a hidden thread unifying most of the malicious dark, etc. All right. So. I can try that. See if there is any darkness associated with this ice on this blade and the.
By the way, just so you guys know, in future we won't be rolling Explore. We'll be rolling Awareness
It'll be
Yeah.
right.
for that
Mm.
sort of thing. So Scan is where you're paying. Oh no, Scan, recognize or locate a set of tracks on the ground. No, so yeah,
Scan is
so,
probably the better one.
Okay.
so
Yeah.
Awareness to find stuff you don't know out of the blue. So maybe the dagger would have been Awareness in that scenario, but
Mhm.
once you found the dagger, you can use Scan around it to try and uncover
Ooh.
greater detail.
Can I roll for scan then to try to see if there's any tracks leading off in any
Yeah.
particular direction?
Yeah, and Rob, you can make a, if you want,
Mm.
first use of hope, you can make a law roll using Shadow Law,
Yep.
All right. That's good.
but you have to spend a hope point to do that, and that'll give you a bonus 2 dice on the roll.
All right. Do I have to use it?
No, absolutely not. No,
Okay,
you can just
all right.
make a roll. You
Because
can just make a roll.
law is a favored skill for me. So
Oh, okay. So you get the 2d12. Now,
and I've got
unfortunately,
3 in it.
yeah.
Uh, So actually, I don't know why it says verse 18 there, because my target number is 13.
It's not saying versus 18. It's saying your total is 18.
Oh, total is right. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, 13 verse. Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay,
actually,
so I'm guessing, Rob, you're
roll,
not going to take the 11.
No, I'll take the
So-
10.
Now, if you click
And
on the
3
die,
too.
just so you know, if you click on the dice, the actual
Yeah.
dice itself, I'm pretty sure the 11 will go away. Like it actually disappears.
Okay.
No, in the dice, in your dice
okay.
view.
So take that out like that.
Yeah, there you go.
And there you go. Now you've got
Okay.
your target. Now you've got, so that's how we'll deal with favored and unfavored.
All right.
You just
so
click on
my-
the one you're not using and it'll go away.
So my target was 15.
So
as
you've
a-
succeeded, but you've only succeeded.
Just. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's pitch
A bad
black,
feeling about
right?
this.
Which means you've actually failed, unfortunately, because you're still taking the -2 or the +2 to your target number for darkness.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
So despite being an elf and having
Yep.
keen eyes.
Well,
Do I
but
see
you
the dark?
didn't spend any hope. You can't use the keen eyes trait unless you
Oh,
spend
okay.
hope.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm understanding a bit now.
Mm.
All right.
Mm.
Got no idea. Let's take it with us.
Okay, so
Cool.
or you might need to wait for
Has a
daytime.
bad feeling about this.
Okay, so
I
oh
did
no,
succeed.
sorry, hold on, sorry, no, hold on, I'm getting mixed up. Natty, you were the one at +2 because you're using
Yes.
scan.
Because I'm scanning.
The elf is using law. So elf,
Yes.
yes, dark things have happened on this knife. The icy cold is unnatural cold.
Right.
That's all you know, but you
Yep.
do know that. You can confirm this is some sort of sorceress or foul origin, this
Right.
icy cold. Mulgren, you actually had a +2, but I think your numbers were,
That would be a 15 and I got 18, so yes.
Yep. you're solid. But you also got no additional successes. You didn't get any
No.
6s, did you?
No 6s, no.
Okay, so scanning around, you find what appear to be, oh, you've got a hooded lantern, don't you?
Oh, that's right, I do have a hooded lantern. I forgot, yeah.
Would you like to use that?
I've got a lantern. I do. It adds to my scan. So yes, I'll roll an extra scan dice. Is it?
Yep.
Yep.
So just roll a d6 straight and
Yep.
see if you get a 6. Nope.
No.
But you do have light,
Do have light.
which actually makes a big difference to your target numbers. So you're going, hold on, I'll just, actually, guys, I'll just go inside and grab my lantern and come back out.
Yeah. Or pull it
Okay.
off the side of my horse that I had
So
left outside.
You find
Yeah.
you find tracks on the ground.
Cool. Okay. I'll point them out to everyone. Oh, there's some footprints here.
So it appears that there's been some sort of scuffle. You can see multiple. You can actually see. Oh no, hold on. You don't. Yeah, okay. You found tracks, but but it's still dark and like it's hard to follow. You haven't got extra successes. So you found tracks. There was obviously a scuffle here. There's no sign of the body.
Yep.
At this point.
Okay, cool.
Mm.
Right.
Right. Is Bonga with us?
Yeah, I don't think I would have stayed on my own.
No. Yeah.
Mm.
Fair enough.
We could go ask the dwarf inside if he found anything with the ranger.
Yeah. All right.
I'm happy to talk to some people.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go back and do that, and then we will follow these tracks.
I'm good at talking to people is specifically what I'm good at. My distinctive feature that I have is folklore as a messenger. So I have knowledge of a wide range of cultures and can show respect and proper greetings for
Nice.
everyone.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you go back inside as a group. You've got do you keep the knife?
I tuck the knife away.
Oh wait,
yeah.
I didn't write it down. What's our patron again? Sorry, which patron have we got taken?
Gilream.
Gilream. Cool.
It's Dad's name on the
Yeah.
Yes.
thing.
Gilrayan,
Right, yep.
sorry. Gilrayan.
Gilream.
Yep.
Cool.
So you go back inside. Everyone's kind of, packing up for the night, right? Like they're going to bed. Then it's dark outside. You hear the bigger of the two men. So remember how there were 3 humans together? There was an old guy and 2 younger guys. They were quite heavily built. The bigger of those 2 guys, who's also much older, probably in his 40s, heavily scarred, looks like he's been in a lot of bad places doing, in difficult things. He's like, all right, everyone, we're starting early tomorrow. We've got to get to Bree as quickly as possible. So we're calling it, everyone go to sleep. And he's like, telling the barkeep, shut up the bar. We've all got to get to sleep so we can start early in the morning. And Jack's going, whatever. Just cut into my profits. Bastards. So when you come in, everyone's kind of packing up to go to sleep.
Okay.
Because you've spent a good solid, half an hour outside, searching around. So do you still want to try and talk to the dwarves? They're all sort of moving away towards sleeping quarters.
I think I still want to.
Yeah.
I think I still want to talk to the dwarves.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the way council works is you've kind of got to have an objective that you set up before you start. So what do you want? What do you want out of this conversation with the dwarves?
I think we want to learn anything that they talked to, or if they found the ranger, like anything they talked to the ranger about, or if they, ran into the ranger outside.
So you want them to talk about their encounter with Mallor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Terry Mac.
Hardy Mac.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll assume that's, look, they're going to bed. They don't know you from a bar of soap. They're not particularly, entranced by you. So we'll assume it's going to require 6 successes to get them to be willing to sort of give up that much information to you. Now that's partially, the other way I could do that is I could make it an unfavorable result and make it 3. Actually, let's do that instead. So it'll be 3 because they're basically just, you're just asking them, did you see the ranger and where he went, sort of thing. So we'll make that a 3, but we'll apply a -1 to all of your die rolls. So any dice roll you make, you'll have to reduce by 1 success die. So that's one of the D6s, because they don't know you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if you spend hope, you have to choose to spend hope before you roll, by the way. Important point. Hope gets spent before you roll,
And
not after you roll.
And when I do spend hope,
You
it
can,
adds...
because it's your distinctive feature, you can claim inspired, which means you spend 1 hope and get 2 dice as opposed to
Awesome.
1 dice.
Okay. Well, I might do that then. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so,
spend a hope.
but the way it starts off with
Right.
is
Okay. Yep.
you're rolling to see how many rolls you're going to get.
Okay.
So if we go back to the, look, here's an entire flowchart that I prepared earlier. Okay, so in general terms, a reasonable request. You want to get some information out of them. Now, they don't. Oh, maybe it is 6 because it's not really something that's helping them in any particular way. Are you going to offer them anything in return? That's probably
Money.
the important question. Money. Well, actually, money counts.
Yep.
But actually, it's going to count as treasure. So, I think there's a table that converts your prosperity to treasure, which I do not have right in front of me. But needless to say, Natty, you've got bucket loads of it. You've got like a 80 or a 90 treasure.
Nice.
Yeah, you're super wealthy. Like you actually are super wealthy. Dwarves from under the mountain are wealthy as hell. Anyway, all right. So you can offer them some treasure, which they will actually actively take because for reasons which you may or may not discover. So to get time, so basically you get 6 rolls. So you get a time limit of 6. Sorry, I've got to close the door. The dog's losing its
Rocket. Can you hear him through mine as well?
I can hear him through my door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can also hear him through mine. Jesus Christ.
So you can roll or courtesy or riddle if you want to extend that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, can I roll courtesy?
You can. Now, just to make the point again, it's yeah, so one person can roll courtesy.
Awesome. Well, I have courtesy as favored for me, and I also have 3 in it. So
Okay.
that's pretty dope. And is this the point where I spend my hope to get?
You can choose to spend it here. Yep.
Yep. Awesome. Well, then I will spend a hope out of my 18. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone.
I've got my pool of hope. I'm terrible in combat, but this I can do.
It's all
You're
right.
a happy person.
I am.
Hobbit.
Yeah. I'm an inquisitive little excitable hobbit person. Hopeful hobbit.
Nice.
Okay, so I've spent my 1 hope, which means when I click on this,
You're
get
going to get
add
2 bonus dice, and because it's your favored, you also get an extra D12.
Yeah.
Which it's
Stack it up.
just click a D12.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now
There
hit
we go.
roll.
Let's do this. Oh, and the D12 I'm going to go with is going to be that 7. So let me just
Get rid of
there
that
we go.
one.
Yeah. So
Okay, so unfortunately you get no additional successes.
yeah.
You do get a success, which
Yep.
means you can extend. So this is sort of the sad thing about all of these dice rolls is if you don't get 6s, in effect all you're doing is just base succeeding.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how much you base succeed by, it just matters that you base succeed, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, you've got 1 additional success, which means you'll get 7 rolls, not 6.
Yep.
And also you've stopped the end of the it can't end in a disaster.
Okay, that's good. That's nice.
Like
Yeah.
they might not like you particularly, but it won't end in a disaster.
Yeah.
So we're sticking with the 3 because you did offer them treasure. So we'll assume you're offering them. And Natty, for now, just note that you've given them 3 treasure.
3 treasure. Cool.
And we'll find the actual definition of how much treasure you have in a little while.
Cool.
Okay, so what it now falls down to is everyone, you guys can look through that list of skills. So you've got Enhearten, Insight, Persuade, Riddle, and Song. And the way I want you to work this is if you've got a skill that you want to deploy and it's all cool, everyone can have a crack. If you've got a skill that you think is relevant, I want you to sort of describe how you're using that skill.
Okay. Let me see which one I.
So I'm going to use my insight because it's a favored skill, and I'm
Yep.
going to just be listening into the conversation and trying to rationalize some of the conversation and what they say.
Yep. And how are you going to like leap in with that commentary, or are you going to whisper it, or what are you going to like? How is it going to be leveraged? How is your insight going to be leveraged to get the information you want?
I'm going to basically stay pretty close to Bonga and just kind of whisper quietly.
Okay. Well, do you want to start off the dice rolling then?
Oh yeah, sure. And let's go. Let's have
Now,
some sixes.
remember,
Come on,
they're
sixes.
they're reluctant though, so just remember that. So have you taken one dice off for reluctance?
No, I'll take a 4 off. Hey.
Because okay, now it was a favored skill, so you're getting rid of the 11.
Oh, the 11. Yeah, so I'm going to fail it because I had an 8 and a 4 by the end of it. So it's 12.
So it's 12.
Yep.
So you do not get any successes.
All right, good. Strong start.
All right.
Oh, that's great. Well, I have an idea. I'm going to use Enhearten.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty good at that as well.
Yep.
And I'm effectively like trying to convince them to share their epic story with me, you know.
Okay. Share what you know. Tell me your story of how you met the ranger in the inn at night.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Exciting story.
Exciting.
Can I spend another hope just because?
You can.
Awesome. Well, then I'm spending another hope. So I take away 1 and I add 2. So effectively I just add 1.
Sure.
Yeah.
And is this a favored skill?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately not. No. But let's see how we do. I got 1 extra.
No, you got 2 extra.
2.
2.
You got 2.
Oh, you're right. I did. I got 2 extra.
Wow, nice.
So you actually got 3 successes.
3.
Which actually means you've got the successes necessary.
Yeah.
We could always do
Why
better.
you pack a hobbit with you.
Yeah.
You could always do better. Do better.
Yeah, do better.
Do it.
So
Morgan.
I will. I'm just gonna like be the the backup for Bunga. Try and meet the dwarves on their level. Try and
One dwarf to another.
one dwarf to another. You can tell me about this. We're all in this together, and this, far from home.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what are you rolling?
I'll roll persuade.
Okay.
I'll take away a dice.
Yep.
Oh, and it is not favored, so 11 is not enough.
11 is not enough.
No.
Okay, so luckily though, even though the rest of you are flailing around, by the way, they don't connect with you because you're a rich, wealthy dwarf and they're envious of you.
Yeah, well, sucks to suck. I don't know.
So actually that actually kind of went pretty well.
Oh my god, amongst all these mortals.
You're
Yeah. Well, good thing I didn't try to roll anything because I've got 0s in all of those skills. But I'm just standing in the background.
You look menacing in the darkness.
Yeah, that's right. That's my job. Look menacing in the dark.
Yeah.
Smoking the pipe.
Yeah, he was sniffing around. And yeah, he's okay, so the dwarf that went out was a guy called Navi, the dwarf. He's a very, very dwarf. So he went out. He disappeared and he came back, and I went out to check him because he's the barkeep told us about these rangers. We've met a few. They seem all right, I guess, but this one he reckoned was a sneak thief, and we just had to go and check out what he was doing and make sure it was okay. And then luckily Ederic got in the way because I was going to beat him. I was going to do him because He'd clearly been searching around in our stuff, but Ederic just told him to get gone, and then he disappeared. Thank God Ederic was here, or else it would have ended in violence, and I would have had to hurt him. Anyway, I'm going to bed now.
Fair
Good
enough.
night.
I won't keep you. Good evening.
Now, everyone, they all basically go to bed. So that's kind of it. Do you guys sleep in the inn?
Yeah.
A comfortable bed is very important.
There's no comfortable beds.
A bed is very
on the floor
important.
or on a table.
I can get you in on the corner there if you want. All the rooms are sold. Unless you
Yeah,
want
that'll-
to pay extra, in which case I could turf out one of the other groups and you could have their room.
I wouldn't want to intrude.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no
perfectly
intrusion.
happy.
If you pay more, they can
Doss
sleep on the
down.
floor. It's just, basic, coin transfer. You give me coin, I transfer them into another space. Is that what you want? No? Okay, all right, fine, whatever.
Alright.
Well, anyway, the floor will cost you 5 coppers. So that's 1 copper for each of you and an extra 1 for the sneak.
I think I'm going
Okay.
to find a tree outside. It's
Oh.
more comfortable.
Don't understand.
Yeah,
how
by the
can
way,
do
I
that.
never asked, Bonga.
Yes.
What's the weird human?
I'm not entirely sure. He's kind of weird. He likes sleeping in trees and shit. I don't actually know him that well. I just met him. He's kind of a weirdo. I don't know. Like, you sleep like outside. Like, what the fuck?
He's like, you know what he reminds me of? Can I tell
What?
you, just between you and me? He's like those stories you hear about those elven kind, isn't he?
He is a bit.
Yeah.
Pointy
Hasn't
ears,
been-
give it away.
hasn't been an elf in these parts for 60 years though. So seems pretty unlikely. Kind of
Mm.
some foreign human,
Yeah.
pretty weird looking. I'd just say Bonga as a reputable member of the Bree community. I'm keeping my eye out. If you could share that back at Bree, that I've got my eye on these foreigners.
Don't worry.
happy to work
Yeah.
happy to work on behalf of the Bree Reeve as a kind of scout, forward guard, warner.
I'll be happy to put in a good word for you.
Yeah, thanks, Bonga. Thanks, mate. That'd be awesome.
Of
All right.
course.
So that night you sleep. Nothing happens. Very early the next morning, the caravan actually departs.
She's up here with me.
So probably the only person, unfortunately, who stepped away, but probably the only person who even notices their departure is Rovendol. They're gone sort of at 5 a.m. in the morning. So the caravan is really slow. They're not traveling at 20 miles a day, right? They're traveling more like at sort of 6 or 7 miles a day.
It's still going to take him a couple of days to get to Bree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they've got a sort of oxen-drawn cart, right? They're not making great rate of knots here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next morning, you guys wake up.
Mm.
The caravan has departed quickly. What do you want to do? Do you want to do a more thorough search of the area
Yeah, now that
that
it's
you were
daylight.
searching last night?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so a combination of awareness and scan, but it's probably much more scan now than awareness, because you sort of know the area you want to search in. So who's going to be leading the charge?
If it's scan, you said. I feel like I should lead then, I think.
Okay.
I can assist, but I've
doing?
only got a scan of 1.
So assisting in this game is not based on skill, it's based on spending hope.
Yep.
Spending hope.
But
That's
you do
right.
have to have the skill to spend the hope.
To help people, I think.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
you
Yeah,
do. You
actually,
do.
yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do I have?
So
Well,
what are we
scan.
doing? Sorry, I had to
Do I
deal
have
with the
any
dog.
scan? I have
I'm
one scan, so I can spend
I
hope.
have no hope. I'm very hopeless. So guard mine.
Well, hopefully
How
you've got
much-
some hope.
I think
I've
I've got a hope of 10.
yeah.
I'm sad. I'm not like happy go lucky bonga.
What's your actual hope stat?
Your heart rating?
What's your heart rating?
My heart rating's 4.
So
Hmm.
14 hope.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it 14? Okay, good. Well, that
Ah.
sounds
Yes,
good.
I've got 10 hope and I've got 2 heart rating.
Yeah, but you're a dwarf.
I'm a dwarf.
Hope-
The balance that I've got 6 strength and 6 wits. So
Yeah.
I've got a base of 18 hope.
wow.
goddamn hobbits. And I don't
Yep.
think the elves don't get good hope, do they?
Oh, we write emo poetry a lot.
Yeah.
I've got the highest heart rating of 4 that an elf can have.
Right. And do you
Nice.
start with 8 plus 4 or 6 plus 4 for hope?
So I get 8 plus 4. So I've got 12.
You've got 12. Okay. So
Mm.
don't forget, look, holding on to it makes sense, but also, at the end of the day, it's there to use, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will happily spend one of my hope here.
Sure.
So,
To
what are
give
we
me an extra
actually
dice.
doing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So the caravan departed first thing in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
actually before the sun broke, but they're traveling very slowly and they're making their way to Bree. They've got an oxen-drawn cart or a couple of oxen-drawn carts, so they're moving at sort of, 5 to 6 miles a day, not 20 miles a day. So they've departed and you've just agreed to go and do a more thorough search of the area where you found the knife
Yep.
in the daylight.
Okay, good idea.
Okay, so it's an extra d6 for the hope then.
Yep.
And it's a favorite skill, so I get to roll 2d12. I got a 12
And a
and an extra
6.
6.
Okay. All right, you're scanning around. You find so the big thing you find is the tracks which lead off, which are a scuffle and then drag marks.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And the drag marks lead to the well.
Oh,
Down the well.
poor old Timmy down the well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you come up to the well. It's a little bit back behind the inn. It's kind of surrounded by green. The bucket and rope are outside of the well at the moment. And yep, when you look down deep into the well, you can see a body floating face down in the well.
Oh.
He's not
That's
getting the
not
beer from this.
ideal.
How far down is the body? About.
It's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably about 5 meters down. Like it's a decent
Okay.
depth.
Yeah.
All right. So the rope in the bucket, is the rope secured?
It's not actually, it's just a loose rope. So basically
Okay.
the person lowers the bucket with the rope and then they pull the rope up, but it's not secured in any way.
All right. So
Oh, actually no, sorry, that doesn't make any sense. It would at least be tied to a rock.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's not a winch and pulley or anything, but it's attached so that you can't accidentally drop the rope and lose the bucket and rope at the bottom of the well.
Because that feels like,
Poor thinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like we wouldn't have a bucket anymore.
Mind you, Jack doesn't strike you as the most organized individual on the planet.
He is not, no.
Okay,
I think there
so
was a hole in the roof of his tavern.
yeah, there is a hole in the roof of his tavern. How does that work? Okay, so what do you want to do, guys?
Oh,
I'm thinking we could try and use the rope to like throw the rope down as like a loop and then try and like put it under the armpits of the person, like try and pull the body up.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
someone will have to go down and attach the rope
Mm.
to the body.
Yep.
Yep.
I suspect.
And I think that probably will be me.
I definitely
will
don't
the
want it to
rope-
be me.
I also definitely don't want it to be me. Hobbits are not famous for their
I don't
swimming
trust
ability.
that rope
pretty sure that-
is going to be strong enough, though. Has
I'm pretty sure
anybody else got rope?
dwarves sink in water, so
Dwarves can't
Right.
swim. It's an
Yeah.
explicit statement. Dwarves can't
Yeah.
swim.
I literally do.
Okay.
sink
Neither
in
can
water.
hobbits.
The good
Same.
news is that I can move like a hippo. I can run across the bottom of a lake bed.
Thomas, I step over the edge of the well and climb down the stones.
Okay.
I'm using a hope to get an automatic success to retrieve the body,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I just carry it up on my shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you climb out with one hand? You're carrying the body on your shoulder.
And I plonk him down.
so yeah. So all right.
It's
okay.
all in muscle tone.
It's all in muscle tone. So because
It's in technique.
So remember, the thing about magical successes are they actually do kind of look magical, right? They're
Yes,
not.
that's right.
It's not just.
So,
I'm.
so I
really
look
good
very
at this.
graceful. It's like the winds are assisting me, and the water rises up to push me upwards.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe you even just stand on the water for a second.
Yeah.
Like you jump off the rocks at the bottom, and your feet don't sink immediately. Like they sort of start to sink slowly. You grab the body with one arm, and then the water sort of thrusts you up onto the rock
lifts
again.
upwards.
And you sort of
Exactly.
then you just sort of do the sort of pacoring up the well.
Yes,
yeah.
that's
jumping
right.
from side to side like this with the body strung over your shoulder, and sort of then just kind of bounce out of the well with the body. So the body is
Yep.
clearly Mallor's. He's been attacked. So you're going to want to do probably a pretty decent examination of his body.
Mhm.
So I think it's. So does anyone have? I think it's battle. Is battle's a skill, isn't it? I've got that right. haven't
Yeah.
I?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I've got battle.
Euros
Okay,
has it.
Yes.
I actually want someone to
Battle.
roll battle, because you're trying to work out what happened here, right? Like he's been assaulted. You want to actually pay attention to what went down. And I think that's a battle roll.
Hmm.
So who's
Okay.
rolling?
I'll roll that. Does anybody want to assist with that?
I can't with
Has
that
anybody
one.
got
I
any
can.
skill in it apart from you?
I have
Alright.
1 point in battle, so I can assist.
Cool.
Okay, are you going to
that's-
burn that
so
hope
you're
point?
gonna hope.
I'll spend 1 of my hope.
All right, so you can get an extra dice for that.
10% of my total hope.
Oh, now one thing. Oh, sorry. One thing we haven't done is everyone can have. Is it fellowship favored? I think it's the thing. I think there's a thing where you can basically have a buddy. It's just like buddies in all the other games.
Yeah.
I need to find the favored, the assisting. Sorry, I just need. Oh no, those are all the. Oh no, it goes back this way. That's why I'm not finding it. For now, because I think it means that if you're assisting your buddy, your favored,
Yeah.
you can give them +2 dice when you're doing the hope thing, not +1. Magical success, penalty successes, bonus successes, can spend inspiration is where you draw upon your thing. Yeah, we did that. Support can make an effort to help another company member who's making a skill zone. A player hero may support only if the circumstance allowed, only if the supporting hero possesses at least 1 rank. No, there's no mention of it. Okay, don't worry about that for now. You will roll. Okay, so that's a success.
Yay.
And okay, so you're quite confused, right? So when you've pulled the body up, part of the reason why it was floating is it's got a rim of ice on it. Like, so the body itself is kind of cold to touch and immobile, kind of like early onset rigor mortis. Okay. The thing though is they've actually had their throat cut with a knife, with a dagger or a blade of some description.
Is it this dagger pulling it out? In its parts?
No.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't have any blood on it.
Yeah.
The dagger
Okay.
you've got.
All right.
Yeah.
So they've been.
Wow.
So the thing that's got you a bit confused is they seem to have been attacked in two ways. So they've been frozen, and then someone has drawn a blade across their throat. Rovandol, do you want to make another Shadow Law roll at this point?
I was just about to do that.
Yep.
Would you like me to assist you with that, or have you got enough dice?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'll do that. So I've got. Let's clear that. Let's do that, and we'll do that. So is there any positives or minuses to this?
Nope.
If I use my distinctive feature for the
You
Shadow
will-
Law?
If you
Yeah.
well, if you do, you have to spend hope.
Yep, I will.
Okay, then you get 2 dice.
Ooh,
Yeah, because this is absolutely Shadow Law.
alrighty. Let's
Wow.
do this. Yeah.
Throwing the big guns in.
Oh,
Ooh.
Okay, unfortunately, no additional
No.
successes despite all of
that's
this.
all my
Yeah.
three.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So the thing that's got you confused is the weapon, like the cutting of the throat. That was
Yeah.
clearly just done with a normal weapon.
Hmm.
So this person was attacked with some sort of sorcerous power,
Yep.
some sort of fell power, and then someone just slit their throat. If it was a creature of undeath, it's not likely that that's how that would have played out.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Is it sounds
So
like an undead creature of some sort. But
They weren't killed by the undead creature. They were killed by someone else.
right.
This is very strange. All right.
And chucked in the well. This.
And tuck-
Yeah,
I mean, there
and
was still
someone
ice on
dragged
him
them.
as well in the well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like
Yeah.
it was natural ice of any sort because it would have
No.
dissolved away.
Correct.
All right. Where
Uh,
do the tracks go after the well?
So they basically head back to the inn. I'll give you that one for free.
Mm,
So
I'm gonna check Mallor's body to see if he's carrying a letter or anything from Gilream on him.
okay, so the thing that's missing from Mallor's body is Mallor's backpack.
Right.
Mm.
So you search the body for a letter, you don't find one. You also don't find a weapon. Like he's got a sword scabbard, but there's no sword.
And we've
Does
already
he-
got
does
a
he have
broken
the-
knife.
So the knife belongs to him, I'm guessing. Does he have a
Yeah.
dagger scabbard?
You
That is
do.
a-
He does have
Yep.
a dagger scabbard. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So we have
Right.
his blade. His
Yep.
sword is missing. His backpack is missing. We've got no instructions about what we were meant to do.
Which
And-
means somebody has basically killed him and robbed him, or at least that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, okay, so I'll also give this one to you for free because I don't think you should have to roll for it. As you guys did, he probably didn't wear his backpack when he went outside.
Yeah, he probably
Yeah.
left it, you know.
So it could be tucked under a table somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Yeah.
right. So definitely
I think
need
it's worth
to
searching
search
for.
the inn then for stuff.
Okay, so a quick search of the inn reveals the backpack is actually behind the bar. So Jack had a plan. When you search the backpack, you do find a letter from Gilream there, basically telling Mallor to meet you and to hand over what he had discovered to you. You also find two other things. You find a small drinking flask marked with the symbol of Rivendell on it. And it's pretty obvious to the elf and the Dunedain that that's probably like the cordial of Immodalis.
Yeah.
So that's the restorative cordial. So in effect, you've got a drink that will heal endurance loss if you suffer it.
Okay.
So there's a single draft
I'm-
left in the flask. And
I'm going to take that one.
Yep. So the cordial restores endurance equal to the drinker's endurance equal to the heart score of the person, plus a success die. So if you drink it, it'll restore your heart plus success die worth of endurance. Now, the other thing you find is a bundle of cloth, and wrapped in it is a small amulet made of greenish glass held on a golden chain. There is a strange symbol on the amulet. Would anyone like to make a lore roll?
Oh, I might give that a go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that. That's all righty. So this is. Can I just discern whether it's? Did you say it was Elven or anything like that?
I didn't say whether it was Elven, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I'll give you a
So-
hint. Shadow lore helps.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to be burning another point here. Another hope point. There is always hope. So that's another 2. All righty, let's do this. Ching. Oh, there's an
Extra
in there.
success in there.
Yeah.
Okay, dumping that.
Okay.
23 with a success.
Okay, so it's definitely an Elvish rune.
Yep.
However, it's marked in a way that suggests that it's not spoken as Elvish.
So is it Mordor?
The Black Speech,
Yes.
to use the exact words. With the extra success, you suspect that a lot of people would mistake it for the Elvish rune for G, so it looks exactly like Gandalf's rune.
Right. Okay.
But it has a marking on it that suggests that it's meant to be spoken in a language you would not be willing to speak.
Yep. Fair enough. All right. And the green glass. Have I seen a gem like that?
Okay,
before?
so you have actually, or at least you've heard of it. So about 20 or 30 years ago, there was a fell sorcerer who set up in Arnor, so in the Broken Lands of Arnor,
Okay.
and was trading with, fell creatures, and was digging through the ruins of Arnor looking for things. He gathered to him a band of fell creatures and fallen men. However, a ranger and elvish war party effectively drove him out from his holding.
Right.
And so
okay.
there's a story going around, and his name, by the way, in case you need it for future reference, which was, where was it? Gorlank. Gorlank. Gorlanc. Gorlank.
Okay.
Gorlank was his name.
Cool.
Okay, so
Fell sorcerer. Right.
yeah, some sort of fell servant of, darkness. Like not sort of, ring wraith kind of level, but there's a lot of, men who trade with dark powers to get access to sorceress abilities.
All right.
And they are
I'll
all
find out
for,
more
and
on
they
him.
and there's only one person who gives out that kind of power. to everyone else starts with it natively, right? So there's only one being who can hand out that kind of power.
In this age,
Yep.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, well, his master's been, in the outer dark for several thousand years, so I think we can count him out.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes. So what do you so now that you've got that much information, I'm not sure. Is there anything else you would like to do at the inn, or would you like to travel on?
I think we have to travel on because, I
I
can't.
think we should
think
follow
else.
that carriage.
Follow that oxen cart.
Yeah.
I have a horse. I don't know if any of you have horses, but I do.
No.
I have an elderly pony. Her name is Poppy.
Oh,
Well, I will be riding a horse.
Pony.
a dwarf on a horse.
Yes. It's a noble steed.
How
I've got
do
to
you
say
get
that
on it?
It's got a little
I
step.
want to know.
It's got like a step ladder.
Eorith probably looks the dwarf in the eye when he's actually sitting on his horse.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not
I
like
know,
a-
I
It's
hate.
big for a dwarf. It's not like a.
It's not like it's more like a mountain pony, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
That pony looks like it's under a lot of strain there.
so at the shoulder the horse is probably just over 4.5 foot tall, right? So the dwarf can actually just see over the top of it if he stands on his tippy toes. And yes, you've probably got a long stirrup or something that you use to clamber up onto the horse.
Yep.
And then you shorten the stirrup once you're on it.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to go after I'm going to be on foot.
Yeah, I'm on foot
Run,
too.
run, run. Dun, 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 dun,
You and
dun,
I
dun, dun.
both like run swiftly.
Yeah.
We can outrun
I would,
the
but as we all know,
pony.
dwarves are natural sprinters. I don't do
That's
long
right.
distance.
For short distances.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Little legs.
So they're just moving along the east road. Are you
Yeah.
basically going to give chase? Now there were 9 of them.
Yeah, I mean, even if we wanted to move fast, I cannot move fast.
You can move faster than an ox cart though.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Like you will travel faster than them. That's a given.
Yep. They are
Yeah.
plodding basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Yeah.
ox cart moves bloody slowly.
I think that when we get like within probably like a mile of them, I'll go ahead and like through the wilderness and scout out to where the cart is and where
Okay. And are you all going to sort of divert off the path? Is that the plan, or what are you thinking there?
Oh no, I think I'd probably just go off by myself or
Okay.
with the elf. Maybe
Mhm.
leave the elf with the other 2, and I'll just scout off ahead through through the
An
wilderness.
important question for the dwarf: are you kitting up?
Yes.
Okay. So do you want to describe what you put on? Because
So I do have like a full suit of like mail armor that I put on over some nice padded quilt. I've got a very like an engraved helmet with some like fancy runes on it. And I've also got my sword and my scabbard on my back and a spear probably like mounted on the horse because it'd be awkward to carry my back while I'm sitting on the horse.
like he's a full-on metal encased warrior.
Yeah.
And also you do have shiny mail, don't you? Didn't you?
I do.
You got good mail, didn't you?
I've got good mail. Yes.
Yeah. So he's like, so Jack comes out at this point because remember his reference to the, not like we get real dwarves around here.
Yeah.
And as you ride off on your mighty steed in
Yeah.
your shining, glittering, perfectly maintained silvered armor, with the giant sword over the back and your mighty knightly helm on, he goes, "Yeah, that's the type of dwarf I was referring to earlier." Should have hit him up for more for the beer. And then you're
the pony rears up.
and you, aha!
Yeah.
It's not a set bit of a
have-
scene though, because you actually look like you're a full-on professional soldier.
Yeah.
I've got my elderly pony Poppy, and she has her little saddlebag that I keep the mail in.
Okay.
And I've got my, as in like letters.
Yes,
Not,
yes.
not that sort of mail.
Yeah, yeah.
Thinking of mail.
Different. I've got mail too.
And I'm wearing my leather shirt still, and I've got my spear, and I've got my little bow, my little hobbit-sized bow,
Yep.
and a
So
quiver of arrows.
cute.
And I get on my elderly little pony, and we trot along at a leisurely pace.
So you could all end up strung out over like literally a mile, but I assume you're traveling at the speed of the slowest member of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Which I
is-
imagine will be the pony.
Yeah, which is definitely
It's the
Bongo.
pony.
Bongo
Yeah.
is by far the slowest member of the
Yeah.
party. Like the elf and the ranger
And the
could probably
ranger.
outrun the horse over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the slowest member of the party is definitely Bongo, and the next slowest is actually Mulgren on his horse, because you can't run a horse. You can
Yeah, no.
not
Yeah.
for the
And
great
especially
distances.
the amount of armor that he's wearing. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
extraordinary.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a very sturdy horse, but it doesn't, it's not made for,
You get
once
one
again.
charge with the horse, and that's it.
Yeah.
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 Wow. So Mulgren is the shiniest thing on the road. He is the beacon of this road to Bree.
He is. So look, we're actually not doing like a proper journey, but just because we're sort of doing something, hopefully this will work. Yay, there you are. No, what happens? Oh, I've got 2 now. Oh, do I have to do that? Oh, yours takes forever to load because it's so huge.
It's a bigger
Okay.
file.
Okay, so when you're journeying, which you're sort of doing, and we'll do a micro journeying roll just for the sake of it. So it works like Forbidden Lands for travel. So everyone takes a role. So the person who's sort of sets the path is the guide. The person who keeps a lookout, who scouts ahead is the scout. The hunter hunts, and the lookout, sets up camp, I think is pretty much how it works. And I'm just going to get literally going to get the journey rules up because I have not checked them in a little while. That's fellowship phase. No one. Journey. Yep, here we go. And I've actually created in the game, and let me go to my sheet.
Oh, there we go. Journey card.
Yeah, I've created a journey template. I need to move that just slightly there so I can see what I'm doing. Ederic, new sheet, journey. So I can go create new sheet, and I can use the journey sheet, journey log. And so what you do is you have this journey log, right? And you can record your trip. It's kind of cool. I like the idea. It's like, it'll make Jason happy because it's like journaling, but with
Formal.
Okay.
So Jason, maybe you
Wow.
could take ownership of the journey logs.
I'd
and
love
create
to
them.
do that.
So you set the year, the season, where were you journeying from? What was your destination? How many days of travel was it? Then you've got one for each role. So, such and such was the hunter, and, did they suffer any travel fatigue? What was their pony? What was the vigor of the pony? Did you have any events on your travel? And you can add extra events. And then any other notes that you want to add down the bottom. So if you want to,
This is so good.
And
You
then
know-
we'll apply an analytics engine to it.
and we'll be able to say, let's never leave our homes again. It's always deadly. So if the company is undertaking a very long journey, the lawmaster should split the itinerary. When chasing a journey path, so basically you don't have to worry. So the guide is in charge of all decisions concerning the route, the rest of the supplies. The hunter is in charge of finding food in the wild. The lookout is in charge of keeping watch, and the scout is in charge of setting up camp and opening up new trails. So basically everyone rolls everyone chooses a role, and then you fill in those roles on the journey sheet. The other roles, as in scout, lookout, and hunters, Just so you're aware, scouts use explore, lookouts use awareness, and hunters use hunting.
Okay, so we don't want me to be the lookout then, because my awareness is not that good.
So we're going to swap roles.
Oh, that's two.
Mine's two as
I'm
well.
actually really good at explore.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really good at hunting,
Oh my God.
and yeah, hunting.
All
Is
right.
What am I
Who's our
explore?
best hunter?
I've got hunting 3, and it's a favored skill for me, so I should probably be the hunter.
Yep. So let's put you as the hunter.
So the guide
Okay.
rolls travel.
Yep.
Travel.
Yeah.
So
I can do travel. That's one thing I can do.
Yep.
So that's lucky.
Yeah.
So we can put Bonga as the guide.
Yep. I'm
And
filling in a
then-
sheet as we speak.
Okay, and who's going to be the scout?
I'm happy to be the scout. I mean, what's the dwarf's scan again? Because that's the skill you're using, isn't it? Or is awareness?
Hold on.
Awareness, isn't it?
It's okay. So the scout uses explore.
Scout
Yep.
uses explore.
Which is a favored skill for me.
It is also a favorite skill for me. Maybe I should have done, put it on a different thing, so I didn't double up as much. But here we are.
It is what it is. What's
Okay.
your explore amount?
I've got 2 explore, and I've got a target of 13.
Okay, that's cool. I've got 2 explore with a target of 15. So
Mm.
you could always take the scout roll if you wanted to.
Now,
because
the
I
lookout,
also have awareness.
yeah. So the
My
lookout
awareness
needs
is not that
awareness.
good.
Yeah.
So my awareness is 2, and it's a
My
favored
awareness is
skill.
only 1, and it's not
Okay.
favored.
So
If we swap the hunter with the scout, I think
Yeah, so I'm
Sorry.
hunting.
Yep. And I'm scouting, and then lookout is
Beautiful.
Rovendol, yes.
Okay, so under any normal circumstances, and look, obviously we don't need to do a journey roll for this, but just for the sake of doing the roll,
Mhm.
so what happens is the guide makes the travel roll. So guide, make a travel roll.
making a travel roll. Where did I leave it? Just down here. Here's travel.
Okay.
Aha. Let's roll. Yeah, 16.
Okay, so the path drawn, blah, 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 blah. You drew a path. It was on the eastern road. That was all fine. Events take place at specific spots along the journey path to determine exactly where a guide of the company must make a marching roll using travel. If the travel roll was a failure, the event occurs 2 hexes away from the journey path in summer and spring, and only 1 hex away if it's winter or autumn. If the travel roll was a success, the event takes place at least 3 hexes, plus 1 for each success icon.
Right.
So,
Okay, 1 success.
so you got 1 success. So under normal circumstances, what that would mean is if your trip was less than like 3 hexes, you would have no events.
Right. Okay.
Okay. If it was 3 or greater, you would have your first event.
Okay.
Then what we would roll is we would roll an event to see what event you're going to encounter. So we'll do that anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just to test out the system, right?
Run through the mechanism.
Okay, so of course you guys are at no risk of having an event unless you roll a catastrophic failure because you're only 20 miles away from Bree. But you are also taking a number of days to get there because you're traveling at the caravan speed. So, balance that out. So what you do then is you roll a journey event table. So you roll a D12. So you just roll a feat dice. So just roll a D12 and give me a number.
Let's do this. A 2.
A 2.
2 and 3.
Okay, so
choices.
ill choices. The roll fails, the target gains 1 shadow point. So basically what that means is the person, then we roll to see whether it's the scout, the lookout, or the hunter who needs to make the roll. So technically we select the target, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So roll a D6 and tell me what you get.
Okay. 5.
5. Right, so it's the hunter.
All right.
Ooh.
So Eorith.
Yeah.
You're up.
So what am I doing? Am I rolling a hunting roll?
You are rolling a hunting roll. If you fail the hunting roll, and because you're now, the different types of lands matter. Now, if you were in Arnor, which is just north of where you currently are, it would
Yeah.
be treated as favored land. And what that actually, because it's borderland, so that means you roll a 2d12, you would roll 2d12, blah, 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 and pick the best. Bree is actually, I think, borderland, right? You're between the inn and Bree, so it's definitely borderland. It's not the wilderness. So it's going to be treated as a favored roll. So you roll 2d12 plus.
Well, so hunting is is already favored for me. So does that mean I roll 3d12 or I just ignore that?
Oh, good question. I actually did read this and then I completely ignored it. It's
Also, just while we're sitting here, Natty, Mulgren, what's your horse's name?
My horse's name? I don't think I named my horse.
Natty!
Horsey. His name is Horsey.
Its name is
Give it a lucky name like Moria.
the horse's name will be Rungus.
Rungus the horse.
Rungus.
It's just going to be 1 dice, I think, by the looks of it. So I can't see anything that suggests you calculate them up. There is a whole thing about what you do if you've got ill-favored and favored in competition. But for favored, it's just, so it doesn't make any difference that you're in the borderland in effect.
Okay.
Okay.
So just roll. And then I guess I keep that 10. Oh,
Yep.
no, how did I?
That'll do it.
Yep.
No, it
Yep.
goes away.
Yep.
So,
So what that means is you avoid the consequence.
Yeah.
And your consequence is that you would have all gained 1 shadow point, which is needless to say bad.
Yeah.
However, you do, I think, take the fatigue.
okay.
So everyone takes 2 points of fatigue.
Oh, 2 points. 2
2
points.
points.
2 points.
So is that reducing our endurance by 2 points?
It is.
Okay. Right.
Correctamundo.
So how do we mark that on the sheet? Because there's a fatigue thing. Do then we also mark something on the endurance? Like, what is-
Yes. So just add
Okay.
your fatigue in for now. Sorry,
Okay.
add your fatigue in. Yeah, add your fatigue in. So what? So endurance is a nasty stat because you start with really high endurance, but then you have to reduce it by your load. You have to
Yep.
reduce it by your fatigue.
Mhm.
So you can go out of endurance pretty quickly. So the dwarf might be, what's your load at the moment? You don't have your load on your character sheet.
Me?
Yeah.
My load, it's 13.
Yeah. So you need to put 13 in your load.
I didn't have it write it down. That's true. Where is that?
Underneath endurance in your strength block.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And of course that reduces your endurance by 13. But it's a variable, right? Because obviously if you take out load, so if
It'll
you
be
drop
13
your
out of
shield,
28.
Actually, I'm not carrying my spear right now because it's sitting on my horse. So yeah.
okay.
Mm.
So that's what I mean by load as a variable, right? Because your
Yeah.
endurance can go up and down depending on what your
Mm.
load is at a
Yep.
point in time. But yes, you take 2 fatigue.
2 fatigue.
2 fatigue.
So my endurance is reduced by 2.
Except
your
isn't
fatigue-
it meant to be written, your load is meant to be written out of your endurance. So it's, this much out of your endurance.
Yeah, so I've got
So
like
it should be out of 28.
It should be out of 28. Yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes.
So it'll
Yep.
be 28 minus 11 is what you
Yep.
Oh,
so I should put that up to what? My endurance is then what? 13 out of 27.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to play around with the character sheets a bit. I might need to do some renovation now that I've thinking about it.
Mm.
Because load just deducts. You want to count your load, but it just deducts from your endurance.
Yeah.
So maybe this doesn't need to be this. Maybe this just needs to literally just have a total point count. Like it doesn't need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
out of a maximum because it's just whatever your load is, right?
Like the
That's cool.
fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
written,
fatigue.
you know.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're just reducing your endurance by those values.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all, so you avoid the 1 encounter. So that's how the journey system works. It's really simple.
Yeah.
It's super simple. And then I think you travel a day per 20 miles. So the number of days is set up by that mechanism.
What season is it at the moment?
Spring. No, spring. Hold on. Yeah, spring. Yeah, you're coming out of
Nice.
winter.
Yep.
Spring of the year. I don't know what year it is.
The year is written in the book. I'll give you the year later.
That's cool.
I know there's a starting date. Oh, here you go. Is this the year? No, maybe not. Okay, playing the game, the One Ring, Folk of Eredor. There's a starting date.
Yeah.
I just can't find it. Maybe it's 2965, actually.
2965 of the fourth age.
Yep, third age.
Of the third age, sorry.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, truly. It's only
Yeah, wow.
3,000 years.
Yeah. Okay, so that was journeying. That's how simple journeying is, just to cover that off.
Nice.
And obviously you roll for a number of events, you know, moving forward. When you encounter an event, you stop, you resolve the event, you apply the consequence. And I'll just double check, you do suffer the fatigue, don't you? Yes. And then we, you know, I probably needed to improvise that a bit, which I didn't for this one. And if you get extra successes, you can do, you know, other things like shortcuts and ill choices and all of that sort of stuff. So it's kind of cool. I like the journeying model. I like it a lot. Okay, so you are now sneaking up on the caravan. So sneakery. So who is the sneakerers?
Me.
Okay.
Well, we could sneak up and then
I still think it's oxen, not horses, because horses would go too fast, but either way.
So what do we think has happened here? That these that they're transporting something dodgy, or that they are dodgy, that they killed Mallor?
Did we actually find his sword, by the way?
No.
No.
So we found his backpack, but we didn't find his sword.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can we?
Interesting.
So the sneaky people, when we go up there, can we see anybody with, I don't know, a sword similar to what Eorith would have?
So I think I'm going to get whoever's going to do the sneaking to roll stealth.
Okay. Well, it is one of my other favorite skills with 3 on it. So
yep.
Yeah.
Because you're going to want to try and, so whenever you need to act in a furtive or secret way, hiding, moving quietly, shadowing others, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so the aim is to get close and to suss them out and see if I can spot this sword if possible.
Okay.
Because that will confirm that they had ill doings with our ranger friend. Ill intent. Well, yes. Okay, well, let's do this. Here comes a roll. Oh my God, I'll get rid of that one. So I make the roll.
You make the roll. So it's a basic success.
But nothing special.
But nothing special, exactly. So you make the roll. I need you to now make a sort of scan roll, I guess.
Okay.
Because you're looking for the sword.
All right. Scan is 1 for me, but I'm going to burn a hope.
Ooh. Okay.
My eyes are like almost drawn to the sword.
You're using. Are you burning a hope? Are you going magical success?
I'm
not
doing
going to
magical
roll.
success. Yeah.
Okay. So how does that work in this particular case?
As far as how I see it working.
Yeah.
I see it as
by the way, I will point out you do have distinctive features, keen-eyed.
I do.
So your other option was to spend a hope point and get two additional success dice.
Yeah, but that's only going to get me 3 success dice plus 1.
Yep.
So, well, I mean, it's that automatic success. So
Yeah. So the
fact
automatic
is-
success doesn't give you multiple successes though. So the balance here between magical successes and the additional
All right.
dice is the opportunity for
all
extended
right.
success.
Well, let's just do the keen eyes then. We'll see how
All right.
it goes. So I'll do that.
Yep.
Hang on. And 2 extra dice. Okay. I've burnt my point, and let's go. Ooh, a 12.
You got a 12, you got a Gandalf.
I got a Gandalf.
Okay, so you definitely get
that's-
an automatic success.
Yep, and it's 19 for a general
And it's
success.
a 19. All right. So I'm gonna, so that's I should probably check whether Gandalf's count as additional successes. But for the sake of this conversation, let's assume they do.
Mhm.
I actually think my suspicion is they don't. But it's okay either way. All right. So you see no sign of the sword.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. There is no sign of the sword.
Mm.
Unbeknownst to you, and just to sort of, maybe just to sort of avoid further examination of the sword question, it's actually lying at the bottom of the well.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay.
That's cool. All right.
There was nothing particularly special about it.
That's cool.
Sure was a nice sword.
It was probably a nice sword, yes.
I'm more
we
interested
know
in
where it
finding
is
a
if you wanna
knife
go
that
get
might have slit someone's throat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're looking around at the groups, but I will give you, like, you can listen in, right?
Mm.
You can sort of pay attention to what's going on. All right. So if you listen in, here's some detail. You can quickly ascertain the following details about the different folk, because you're monitoring them, watching them, right?
Yeah.
So Edoric, who's the big guy, you don't know a lot about, in all seriousness, except for Dunedain, all humans probably look pretty similar to you. There are bigger humans and smaller humans, but really at the end of the day, they're all humans. He's a big man with weathered skin and a well-worn cloak. He's leaning heavily on his spear. And he's got good pace on him. He's held back by the oxen carts, but he's moving at a fair clip. He's barking orders and getting people to move along. So he's clearly sort of in charge, right? Yep. There's a second guy who you hear shouted out. His name is Owen. I guess it's Owen. I guess it's spelled Owen. Eoin.
Owen, yeah.
Yeah. Now he's sorry, let me just kill that. So it becomes quite apparent that he's basically just muscle for Edoric. And when I say muscle, I mean literally he carries heavy things. Like he's not muscle in a sort of, guard sense. He's muscle in a sort of, get that heavy sack.
Weights.
Yeah. So he's a young guy. Right. It looks like he's pretty much just been hired for the first time. There are 4 dwarves. There's a dwarf called Vig. He's pretty old for a dwarf.
Okay.
So he looks quite elderly. And, has grey hair and all of those sorts of things. There's another dwarf who rides with him all the time on front of one of the carts, who's big and sort of heavily built, beefy kind of guy. He's got a massive scar down his face, though, like a really deep, like axe blow kind of scar. And he doesn't say much. His name is Vogar, and you get the distinct impression Vig is kind of taking care of him. Right. So Vig sort of does a lot of things for Vogar. There's 2 slightly younger dwarves. I mean, it's hard to tell with dwarves, and let's be
They
upfront,
could be women, in fact.
they could. And you
Beard,
don't
you mean.
know, you're
Yeah.
an elf of Linden, so you don't actually know a lot about dwarves, right? They're
Yeah.
not people you've spent a lot of time with. I mean, there are some to the north of Linden in the mountains.
Yeah. But they
Um,
keep to themselves.
yeah, they do. They do not. The elves and dwarves, they don't spend a lot of time talking. So Narvig and Narvi are the two younger dwarves. And then there's the two additional humans. So one of them is a guy called Hirlinon, Hirlinon, for those keeping notes.
Cool.
So he's dressed in bright clothing. He's pulling they've got their own cart, their own oxen cart. On the side of it, it says something along the lines of Hirlinon's magical cure-alls. He's, got
Snake
a
oil salesman.
yeah, and you can hear jingling and jangling coming from that cart, like it's glassware or
Right.
perhaps ceramic ware in there. And sitting next to him is a reasonably attractive woman. Berelas is her name. She's another human, female. They all look old to you once they're past 20.
Yeah.
So you're not sure how old she actually is, but she's not 20. Well, because they're so ephemeral, right? Like humans probably all look old to you in a very real
Yeah.
sense, because
Yeah.
elves never look old.
Yeah.
So the moment a human starts aging, it all becomes a bit of a sort of they're all dying, right?
they're all
All humans are
decaying.
dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the group, right?
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, there's one last guy, Mirabar. So he's a much grayer, hairless man. So you assume he's older than the rest.
Much
and
closer to death.
Much closer to death. And he's in one of the carts, and actually that cart is probably the teamster, the guys running it, is actually probably Owen, the heavy built guy who was
Okay.
so Owen is probably sort of guiding the cart, and Dorwinen is sort of riding in the back.
Right. All right. Well, I guess I go back and give this update to everybody.
Yeah. So just to be clear, there's 3 carts. There's the cart with Dorwinen and
Who's
Owen.
Dorwinen?
Dorwinen.
Who's Dorwinen?
He's the old grey guy.
Oh,
Mirabar. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mirabar.
Yeah.
Dorwinen's where he's from. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mirabar, the old guy, and Owen in the first cart. The second cart has got the dwarves on it, and it's on the side of the cart, it's probably says Vig and Vogar's sort of repairs or tinkering. So you can hear the jangle of metal and other things, and if you look at it from behind, you can probably see a small forge, like a small, really small one, like for repairing small things. And then the third one is Hirlinon's, magical cure-alls, and Berelas is sitting in the cart with him.
Okay.
Right. Cool.
So you're going back to the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're about a mile behind, I think you guys decided.
Yeah.
Just keeping a very slow pace. Even what's the name of your pony again, Bonga?
Poppy.
Even Poppy is challenged to move as slowly as this.
Yeah. Occasionally we just stop and she has a snack of grass on the,
Yeah,
side of the
Yeah,
road.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're catching up. Hold on.
Please break.
Oh, dear.
Meanwhile, your mighty steed, Morgan, what's the name of your mighty steed again?
Rongus.
Rongus, champs at the bit, ready to charge down, orcs and goblins and such kind.
'Cause the
Yes.
sooner that's done, the sooner you get lighter and your gear goes
Yeah.
comes back and on
Yeah.
your sides.
All right. So what do you guys do? You gather together. Roven shares, I assume, the information he's
Yeah.
gathered. What do you
Yeah.
want to do?
I mean, these guys were basically, were they armed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
yeah.
are armed.
Yeah,
and-
every road is
like us.
dangerous. Every road
Yeah.
is dangerous, right? There's no
Yeah,
such thing
everyone's
as a
armed.
safe road.
Anyone who travels without arms is
It's
idiot.
not going to be able to
Yeah,
control their
shit.
horse
Yeah.
swim.
Yeah.
because they have no arms.
Or even climb. Or even climb.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, they don't give an air of hostility. This is the thing.
Well, no more than any other traveling band.
Yeah.
They are travelers, though.
Yes.
Well, all travelers have some sort of,
Yeah.
air of
Gypsies,
hostility.
we're here to steal your horses.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're travelers and we're dangerous people. They're travelers. Obviously, they're probably dangerous people too.
So by that, every traveler is dangerous.
Yes. You shouldn't trust travelers.
Yes. Okay. All right. So the question is, what do we do now? Do we want to get to know them better?
I
Do we
think
want
so.
to just follow them?
I
Do you
think
want to
we
wait
should.
until they camp and then sneak around and things?
Hmm.
Do you want to charge in headlong, slaughter the lot, and then
And then ask questions later.
ask questions
Right.
later? Yeah, that's right.
I personally would prefer to ask questions before
Yeah.
resorting to violence.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know about how all your lot do it, but
My
We-
lot are very
we little
patient. We
folk-
wait.
oh well, we little folk like to have conversations.
We could just go up and ride up and ask if we could join their caravan towards Bree, since that's where we're heading,
Yep.
and pretend.
Yeah.
We have scouts. We can help scout ahead and things.
Yeah.
While the talkative types actually stay there and talk.
Yes. Find out
Seems
what's
like
going on.
Seems like a good plan to me.
Excellent.
All right. Well, why don't we do that scene and then we'll stop because
Okay.
it's 12. It's almost 12:30.
Mm.
So, are you guys cool to do one last council?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, if I may, let me go back to the. I like the fact that we've don't used council and we haven't used combat yet. Okay, so you're going to ride up to them. Who's going to be the spokesperson?
I shall.
Bonga.
Bunga.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Wait,
sure?
wait. Truck, 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 truck.
All right. So you're going to approach them from the east,
Yes.
following along behind them. You're going to make a request to join their caravan.
That's right.
Okay, I actually think that will be a reasonably bold request. Like, they don't know you.
Yeah.
They have no reason to trust you. So I think that will require 6 successes.
Yeah.
Because, you folk, you foreign folk, you dodgy people. So the first role we're going to do is choose who's going to be the spokesperson. So don't forget, you can roll awe as well as courtesy and riddles, but
That's true. Yeah.
if you're using Bonga, I assume it's courtesy.
I am a courtesy person. It's my thing.
Okay, does
Right.
anyone else have a different opinion, or are you going with Bonga?
No.
Bonga leads the path. Okay, so Bonga, same as last time. You need to make a courtesy roll.
Yep.
And you really don't want to
Stuff it up.
stuff it.
Yeah. I'm going to spend another hope and use my folklore
Okay.
to get along with them. So give me an extra 2 dice. Hopefully
Okay,
I'll get
so
some extra
inspired,
successes with
yep.
that.
How
Yep.
about that local sporting team? She says.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's right. There we go.
Now,
Okay.
I just will point out others can assist. That is also an option.
Okay.
But
So
you
if
can
anyone
just
else
go,
has courtesy and hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've already got this is
Okay.
favored for me.
and you've got 5
I've
success
got
die.
5 success dice, so
You're
I'm doing pretty all right.
all right, so are we going to roll?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Rolling.
Oh, 2,
wow.
3.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's good.
yeah.
All right, so
Let me
you've got
just-
9 rolls that you get to make.
Yeah. Awesome.
Holy crap.
Because you've got an additional 360 because you've got 3 successes.
Yeah.
And you won't get a disastrous outcome at the end. They won't draw their weapons and attack you.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next thing we do is we're going to do the interaction. So I think I'm not going to make it like reluctant friendly because I kind of put the resistance at 6 to represent that, they weren't keen on you.
Yeah.
So I assume Rovendol is going to go with insight again. Does anyone else want to contribute? And does anyone want to sing or riddle?
I would love to riddle.
Okay.
I'm a riddler.
So we've got riddling.
Can I just look awe-inspiring and broody in the background? Does that help?
You can.
Yes.
What skill would you like to roll for that? You've got Enhearten, Insight, Persuade, Riddle, Song. You don't have to be limited to those. If you can come up with a reason why one of your other skills works, then I'm happy to wear that, right?
Yeah, I do have awe.
Okay, so
What I can think of.
you're going to trade on I'm a ranger. I know I'm a mighty ranger warrior, not a. So you're basically going the opposite. You're going to unveil a little bit,
Yeah.
like your true nature.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing about the Dunedain is they actually conceal their true nature, right?
Yeah.
Because they're actually all basically superhuman.
Mm.
Like they're all, the equivalent of, well, not minor gods, but they're better
Yeah.
than everyone else at everything. That's their thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're going to go with awe. I'll give that. I'll let, particularly considering the circumstances, you're trying to prove that you should be helping them guard themselves on their way through this dangerous land.
Yeah.
All right. So you can roll awe if you want. Do you want to roll awe now?
Yeah, I'll do that now.
Okay.
And so if I spend, it's a favored skill for me, so I get another one of these.
Yeah.
What was the thing about spending hope?
So you can spend hope to get a bonus die,
So that's
or if you can argue an alignment to your distinctive trait or traits.
I'm definitely trading on my height.
Okay, so your distinctive trait is you're a tall, brooding.
Yeah, I'm very tall and posing.
I am no woman. Well, I'm no man. I'm a,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But I'm just like,
Okay.
me.
Yeah. All right. So I'll give you 2 dice for that because I like it. So that's fine, and you have to burn a hope, of course.
To burn a hope. Okay, I'll do that in a second. Okay, so I'm gonna roll.
All right, and we're looking for 6 successes in total.
Oh, and I take that 11 away.
Oh, you take it away. Okay, that's lucky.
Oh no,
Okay.
that's not the one I do. I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay.
That's right. Hold on.
So
I have a fit.
It's okay.
So you
Still
succeeded.
hit the target.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got
okay.
got my 13.
Okay.
We've
So
got
you got
one.
1 success from awe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So who's rolling next?
I
Um,
can riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll your riddle skill?
I would love to roll my riddling skill.
I'm gonna get this.
And this is a favored role for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's give this a shot. Ooh, and I will take away the 3, which means I just hit it. So
You just get it. Okay, so that's 2
Nice.
successes.
yeah.
All right, Rovan Dole, are you rolling insight again?
What am I doing? I can roll insight. Yep, let's do that. And here we go. That's pretty average. Don't do that. No, I don't. I missed it by 1.
Ah,
No.
Okay. All right, so that's 2 successes out of 3 rolls.
Yeah.
Mulgrim.
We have 6 rolls left.
Can I try persuade and try and talk about how well we'll be safer together, traveling these dangerous roads.
Sure, you can roll your persuade skill.
12 is 1 below what I
No.
needed.
Oh,
Damn.
Damn.
Wow.
That's
All right.
not good.
Yeah.
You've still got
Yeah.
5 rolls left, guys.
Yes, we still do
Yep.
have 5 rolls left.
Okay, well, I can try law.
What would you do with law?
To fill them in on the journey ahead and what they can expect.
So you're
Uh,
basically going to put the fear of God into them.
Yeah, why not?
oh,
Yeah.
very dangerous lands. Do you know
we
that
should-
this monster
We should
is
travel
around here?
together, for there are dark things in the
There are
woods.
dark
Let me
things
tell you
that
a
dwell in the
story.
forests.
Let me tell you a story of the dark things in the forest to reassure you that you should.
Exactly.
All right, I'm
much.
pretty sure we're stretching well beyond the rules now, but for the sake of not getting in the way, sure, let's do it.
All right. Okay, let's do that. It's going to be all 6s, you know that. No, for fuck's sake. Anyway, they go,
Alright.
oh yeah, we've seen worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. There is nothing. All right,
Okay.
so they're looking slightly sus at you.
I'd like to step back in again.
Yep. And use your courtesy skill this time, perhaps.
It's like
yeah,
tag.
that's what I was thinking.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yes, I understand how these people actually think.
Right.
Being a very respectful, polite hobbit person.
Okay.
And I am going to spend hope again
On the folklore.
on the folklore to get me
Okay.
another 2. I've now got 13 hope left.
Burning that hope.
Burning that hope. There's another extra success in there.
Okay, so that's 2.
Yeah.
So you're up to 4 now.
How many
Yeah.
do we have to get?
6.
6.
We need
Okay.
2 more.
Pulling it out of the fire.
All right.
Now, I'm pretty sure we're meant to be role playing this, but I just want to fix it up. So we'll just do it. And then we'll role play it next time.
3 rolls left, guys. We need 2 successes.
Now,
3
you
rolls
can,
left.
there's no rule that says you can't reuse skills or anything like that. But has anyone got good song?
No.
I have Song of 2 and
They seem all right.
I have good
Where is
song, but
song?
I have bad strength. So
Actually, I'm
Oh.
not terrible at song.
Perhaps you
All
could all
right.
launch into some sort of.
I
'Cause
could
I-
help you out with song.
I-
I have an instrument that makes. I have a small string instrument that I can play.
It's true. You
I
do.
so
Because
go
I
to
have-
El Dorado.
I have
Yeah.
one song. I've got really good strength, but I've only got 1 point in song.
I have 2 points in song and I know some ballads.
What's your
Nice.
song, Erith? Erith?
North.
I have 0.
Oh, well,
I
that's a
do
shame
nothing.
because I know your strength is ridiculous. So that would have
Exactly.
helped.
I
Yeah.
have 2 song and 2 strength. So-
Okay. Yeah, that's not so great.
So-
TN 18 is what you're trying to say.
I have
Yeah,
2
TN
strong
18.
and 2 song
What's
and
your
5
target
strength.
number? Be 15 then.
Yes.
All right. Are you going to
Unless I
sing?
really sing from the heart and get
I'll-
them to really feel the
And what's
the
and
heartstrings
I'm
of this
helping.
song of the land.
Okay.
I'm
cetera,
helping
cetera.
with the song. So
And-
I'm,
and-
I'm going to spend hope.
Okay. Wow. You've burnt through a lot of hope.
Yep.
Happens.
It's what I've got.
All
Music
right, so
waves.
I'll let you add 2
Yeah.
dice to Roven's roll because you've got your instrument as well.
Oh, okay.
Playing a
Cool.
backing track.
Backing track. Excellent. Right. So I've got 2 dice, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 additional dice.
All right. Let's
Okay, come on.
go. Come on, lots of 6s. Ooh.
Oh, there is a 6.
Yeah,
a
wow,
six.
that succeeds. And a success.
And it's 2
Dude,
successes.
That's what we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So close. Well, okay, it was a hard fought convincing, but then eventually Roven Dole sings a song and they say, well, if nothing else, we'll at least have music to accompany us. And Roven Dole sings them this song in the harp, and Bonga plays their stringed harp, their lap harp on the
Yes.
side. And it's like, oh, well, if you could sing every night, you'd be welcome to join us for the next few days of travel while we ride on to Bree.
They're going to be so depressed by my songs. It's all
Yeah, they're
about
all
the
about-
retreat.
You're still in
all
Elvish. They
about
can't
the
understand a
encroaching
word you're
darkness.
Yeah,
saying.
they don't understand a word. None of them can speak Elvish.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all just very pretty.
Yes.
It's all just
Okay,
very
good.
sadnessy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have managed to get yourselves into the caravan.
All right.
Yeah.
And when we next play, you will be in the caravan, digging out secrets and finding out who's really the murderer. I
Yeah.
assume.
We need to have an accusing parlor when we
I
get
was
to
waiting
Bree.
for that.
J'accuse!
that.
J'accuse!
The accusing parlor.
Now the way, interestingly, XP in the game is really simple. Basically, you get 3 adventure points and 3 experience points, I think they are.
Skill points?
Skill points.
Where are
Okay.
those?
You get 3 adventure points and 3 skill points.
Wow.
They're up the top under scores.
Right. Yep.
Per session. There's no doing stuff. There's just 3 and
skill
3.
points is spending as you normally would skill points.
Yep.
But what about adventure points?
So they can buy you valor and wisdom,
Okay.
and that's what you use to buy sort of
Yeah. Things
Better
like,
stuff.
you can get rewards and
you also get your additional cultural blessings out of that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So your virtues,
Oh, okay.
your rewards are like physical things, and your virtues are like your cultural benefits. And there's a couple of other things I think you can get as well. But yeah, if you want to be a better elf,
Yeah.
you buy a virtue, you get better virtue,
Get a cultural.
and then you get a cultural blessing off the back of it.
Get
Okay.
also I can get sturdy and
Yeah.
such things.
And the elves can
Yeah,
get, recalling,
Yeah.
the history.
I actually don't know what I can get, but
Oh, you get Baruch Kazad. Once per combat, you can make a forward stance. When you're fighting forward stance, you can make an attack roll favored
Ooh,
and attempt to intimidate the foe as a combat task as a second action. So you can scare the hate out of them, which actually weakens them. And you can also make a favored attack with your weapon.
nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's
I
pretty
get
cool.
an array of things.
But actually, I reckon the one you should go for, Nat, considering your wits, is the broken spell, which
Ooh.
allows you to do magical successes on a certain set number of skills, because you actually remember the ancient dwarvish, because dwarves were are magical beings.
Yes,
They do magic as well.
that
So
does sound cool. And actually, I am mostly wits.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've just
I
got to
can
buy
get
your
tough as old
virtue
tree
to
roots.
2. And I can't remember what that costs you. But anyway, you only get to do that in the
Desperate courage.
fellowship phase. You don't get to do it beforehand. So the thing
Right.
about it is you
Yeah.
do 3, generally speaking, you do 3 adventuring phases. Now, a scenario can be 1 or more adventuring phases, depending on how we decide to play it. And a fellowship phase happens in winter, basically is how it works.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what did people think?
I loved it.
That was pretty all right. Yeah, that's pretty
I
good.
think it's good.
I like it a lot. I think they do make the point that the target numbers are actually, and they make this point in the game, in the write-up, if you're playing just a short game where you're not expecting to go on, then you should set the target number base at 18, not 20, because starting characters actually will find the target number quite challenging.
Yeah.
Right.
But target number 20 is better suited for games where you're expecting the characters to develop because it's more balanced in the long term.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the sake of the, play testing it and see what it's like, I decided to stick with 20. So that was the basic logic for that, which is why you had probably a lower level of success than you would have hoped. But then
I thought we did pretty
I
good,
think we did pretty
actually.
all right, actually.
I think
yeah.
it'll be interesting when we get to the fact that it actually takes quite a bit to get hope back.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Like I spent a lot of hope.
You burnt through hope like it was water, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm.
pouring
Yeah.
through your fingers, right?
Although
But it
I
was
am
cool.
a hobbit. I'm
You are a
putting that out
hobbit,
there. I am
and
a hobbit,
you-
so I recover hope much faster than
You do.
others.
You recover hope much faster as well. Certainly faster than the elf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of screwed when it comes to hope recovery.
Not as bad as the Rivendell elves.
That's true. They're literally
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
We don't get out much because there isn't any point really.
Yeah, there's nothing to-
Yeah.
they're all glum.
Eldori now, so I'm just kind of
yeah.
waiting until the next boat.
Yeah.
That's right. Would you like to hear my poetry?
Screw the universe.
As they flick the hair aside, emo style.
So yeah, so I really like this game. I think I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stop the recording and then I'll